After a long wait, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has finally released. Now, unfortunately, unlike most other content creators, I didn't get this game a month early, so I'm playing it on day one, much like a lot of other people. Now, this is going to be a first impressions and, of course, some general gameplay of this game. So far, it has not disappointed. Now, I did play a fair few hours in the first game, and do you know what? I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great medieval simulator. I thought it was a great story. It had some unique ideas, be it very frustrating at times. You, of course, being, popped into a world, not really having any idea of how to even hold a sword or ride a horse. Luckily, our pal Henry here has actually got some experience behind him now, so he's a little bit better on a horse and he's a little bit better with a sword, which I think a lot of us can be quite thankful for. Now, that's not to say that this game still doesn't have its challenges, it's just perhaps a little bit more forgiving, especially for newer players going into the second one. Now, if you ask me, the people at Warhorse Studios have done a fantastic job, especially with detail in this game. The detail is phenomenal. I really feel like they took everything that was good about the first game and kind of cranked it to 10 while listening to the community and understanding what they had frustrations with and just dulling them down a little bit. Now, this is set in 15th century medieval times, so that's kind of the era in which we're working with here. One of the things that I absolutely love is the scenery. This game looks beautiful. Now, I am playing on the Xbox Series X. I've had no issues whatsoever so far, but I have noticed just how good this game looks. Not only looks, but also runs. It runs really, really smooth. During the day, everything looks so vibrant and colorful, and during the night time you see this grittiness kind of like take over your screen. Not to mention the level of detail when it comes to actually putting on armor. I struggle to think of a game where it correctly details the right way to wear armor, in a sense that you have to wear padding underneath plate armor for it to work effectively. And yes, they've gone ahead and put mini games in this as well. And I may be somebody who has a guilty pleasure for mini games inside a game. It may be simple dice, but hey, simple things please simple minds. Now, I'm not a huge way into this game yet, but one thing I have noticed is attention to detail. It's incredibly detailed, this game. There's so much going on. The world is really alive. It seems like everyone you talk to has their own things going on. There's multiple quests going at the same time, and you have to kind of complete them before, a timer, essentially. You may not even be aware of a timer, but hey, if you linger too long on a side quest, that's gonna cause issues. Now, I'm going to try not to give away too many spoilers, especially for the story or early story. But one thing I noticed is that right at the beginning of the game kind of like warns you how persuasion works. And I find that really interesting because most persuasion games or RPGs, you're looking for the highest number. You're looking for whatever gives you that advantage, whether it be strength or persuasion, something like that. It typically wins out. But within Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it turns out that believability plays a factor as well. Whether they're going to believe what you say, whether what you say is believable. Maybe you're pretending to be a lord, but yet, you look as though you just dragged your way out through a sewer. They're not exactly going to believe that, are they? And apparently that plays a part when talking to NPCs in this game. And I find that really, really interesting to play around with. It also comes with other factors, as well as believability, like reputation as well. Yes, your ability points and your skills are going to play a part, but it's not just about looking for that highest number. And I think that's a little bit refreshing. And early on, it does feel like my choices have weight, and how much weight they have, I think the time will tell. But it has been interesting to, play through this early bit. I know that the prologue, the first few hours of this game, there is a story there it wants to tell you. Eventually, the game does open up and it becomes, quite massive. But at the beginning, I think one thing I'd recommend for anyone picking this game up is just to have a little bit of patience. I know you think you know what this game has to offer, but just let it show you itself. Now, I have been waiting for this game, I say all year, but I mean, we are smack bang right at the beginning of this year. But this is one of those games that I was looking at that I was most looking forward to playing. So I'm trying not to come at this video too much out of a fanboy, but I have been very, very impressed. I love medieval games and I love medieval simulators, and this game feels like the best of everything so far. One thing that I wanted improved was the melee combat. For me, Kingdom Come Deliverance #1 was a very, very frustrating, hard to kind of like fully feel like you've mastered things. But in 2, it does feel a little bit more forgiving, which is quite nice. And we should also take a moment to appreciate the voice acting within this game. The cinematics, the voice acting, it sounds beautiful. They've done a lot of attention to detail here. And there's going to be a lot of story to show within this game. It looks like they're doing a fabulous job. I'm looking forward to seeing much, much more ahead.
Who know you at?
What's that you keep yelling, Sir Hans?
Good gracious, Henry, you don't mean to tell me you don't know Latin?
My apologies, Your Grace. Unfortunately, I was too busy shoveling shit and picking turnips to find time for studying Latin.
We shall have to rectify that. I can't have an ignoramus for a personal bodyguard.
Anyway, this Audens, whatever. What does that actually mean?
Audentes fortuna.
But there we have it, guys. That is my first impressions of the game. So far, I've really enjoyed what I've played so far, and I'm looking forward to much, much more to come. I'm going to put off doing a review for a little bit. I need to get much, much further in this game before I do that. But so far, all good. If you guys have actually had a chance to pick up this game yourselves and play it, please let us know down in the comments what you think of it, if it's worth picking up, because this is a AAA rated priced game. It's $59.99. I think the bigger version of this game is $72.99, something along those lines. And so it's a lot of money. So, help the rest of the community know whether it's worth picking up or not. But until next time, I've been a monk, we've been Inquisitive Curious, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.
You say? The one that King Sigismund's Cuman forces plundered?
And slaughtered everyone. Even so, I'm not going to Trotsky as an enemy, but as a peace envoy.